Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We are very happy to be here again together with you. Our dear Steven, which is animating the meetings, is will have a little delay because of his professional obligations. So we will start here today on this very interesting topic we have about forgiveness, how this is more helping us in reality than our neighbors, the one who are forgiven. Então, tonight we have a special guest that you know already. It's our dear uh, brother Rubens. Hello, brother Rubens. Good evening.
Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm grateful to be here again. Hello, Elsa Rossi. Hello, Charles. Hello, and a warm thank you to all of you joining us live today. Once again, it's my pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh,
Perfect.
it's
And
great to be
as usual,
together
we
now,
have also
Charles.
our sister Elsa.
Uh-huh. Hello, everyone. Please come and share our link with your friends that we can talk about something very important that Jesus came, and especially for the Pharisees, for the people that time, that he brought forgiveness. That was quite impossible. One kill other because blah, blah, blah. And forgiveness was the first time that he really introduced. So we follow this pathway of Jesus. And something that was talking today that is more than 6 years, no, 5 years that we are doing our spiritual light, this international event weekly with the guests from South America, Brazil, United States, Europe, and it's very nice indeed, and the appreciation that's so more than I think more than 250 episodes, more than that. And so we carry on doing, and especially with friends like Rubens, and the host as Charles, Stevan, Silvia Gibbons, the ones that started the foundation of these lives. And I'm glad that the people are following, are helping, are manifesting their suggestions for themes, etc., aims, and be part of this journey with us. Okay, the international spiritual journey. Okay, thank you so much, everyone that has been with us during these years, and you carry on, and much more will come. Thank you so much. Let's start. And Charles now is our host of questions today. Charles.
Thank you so much, Elsa, for this remembering. Indeed, the time is going 5 years already. But okay, we are using the available technology for doing good as much as we can, for helping the others, for that we can think about some important topics together that are not always so simple, like the one of today, forgiveness. And you have seen in the title, it's even written the power of forgiveness. Incredible, huh? Healing ourselves from within, from inside. Huh? And this is exactly what we will develop today. So I would like to start with the first question to our invitee today, Rubens. Rubens, is forgiveness simply forgetting an offense, or is it a process of inner transformation?
Well, as you say, the power of forgiving is very strong subject. When I got a message that I'm supposed to participate in this meeting today, I promise to you that I've been thinking about because I had a very difficult in my life way to forgive people. Um, uh, of course, forgiveness is not a simple forget an offense or something wrong that someone has done to you. It's more than that, you know. According to the gospel, forgiveness is a deep inner transformation. We have to go there inside of our heart and bring everything to come out where we overcome resentment or hate or everything that we have done wrong to someone. We have to replace this bitterness with understanding and cultivate true moral charity. Of course, we have to, when we talk about the power of forgiving, we have to bring to the conversation the gospel according to spiritualism. once again, I have been here, and I say I'm a big fan of this book, the Gospel According to Spiritism, the book that belongs to my life. My God, almost 24 hours, and I love. And the gospel in the Gospel According to Spiritism, forgiveness. When they talk about forgiveness, is present as a moral conquest. For example, it's not a superficial action. I need to forgive someone, the words that should come only from my mouth. Now, this forgive the true forgiveness requires so many things deep inside of you. Because people think, oh, maybe it's so easy to forgive someone, but now it's required, for example, a very deep inner work to release resentment, to release everything sad and bad that belong inside of me. Deep inner transformation from inside to outside. And I love this when I'm all the time when I read the Gospel Culture Spiritism, and they talk about this, the control of negative emotions. All of us has some big or sad or negative thoughts and emotion about someone else. We have to avoid these thoughts and hate that belong to us. And another point as well to bring out when we talk about forgiveness, the way to understand the human imperfection, because we are imperfection past. All of us are very imperfection. We all of us include our own imperfection. We have to understand this, our limit of imperfection. And of course, when we talk about forgiveness, we have to talk about the moral charity as well, which means wishing good to those who hate you. That's the most difficult part for me to forgive. Is, for example, no, to forgive who love me is very easy, but to forgive who hate me, that's the most difficult part. But again, the Gospel According to Spiritism is one of the beautiful books that I love, bring as well the spiritual growth, for example, how they then can move closer to the thought of Jesus, to divine principles. This has helped a lot for you to understand how to forgive the other. And then, of course, I've been thinking about as well how this process of inner deep inside of me. Forgiveness is a big process that free the one who forgives. Because we always think, I'm going to forgive someone. Oh, that person that I forgive, he's going to be free. Now, when I forgive someone, who's going to be free is myself. Because the most person that is going to bring the good thoughts is because when I forgive someone, then I feel free myself. I have a very good example about this forgiveness, especially this point of control emotional. I have two sisters in my family, because family is the best good example that you can give about forgiving. I have my two sisters that they have a problem. They have been without talk between each other for more than 5 years. Then one day I was talking to my old sister, and she said, "Oh, I'm not going to forgive our sister because who have to forgive is not me. Who have to forgive is a God." And then I've been thinking about, this and say, my God, it's totally wrong. God doesn't need to forgive anybody because he not feel offense of anything. Who have to forgive is us, who is make the mistake, who feel offended by the other situation. That always has been in my mind because people make this mistake. Those people keeping asking God for forgiveness for their action, for their mistake, but God doesn't forgive anyone because he isn't offended by anything. The only who need to forgive is myself, is us who get offended by everything. So that's the most good example that I have about forgiveness.
Thank you so much, Ruben, for this nice example. It's indeed, as the examples are teaching us. Huh? And really, I mean, forgetting meaning wiping of the memory is not always possible, huh? Unless we have Alzheimer or whatever. Huh? Otherwise, we will not forget. But even so, we can forgive. Huh? And forgetting would also have another inconvenience, which is you forget the experience. You forget who is who. You forget the good or the bad experience, and it's based on this experience that we build a better future, that we can have the resources to build a better future. But forgiving is then something, even if we do not forget, we can forgive by hurt. And basically, this is freeing ourselves. As you very well told, difficult is to forgive someone who hates you. But when you think about the one who hates you, it's his problem hating you. If you do not hate him, it's already a very good step. And you cannot, nobody can forgive or stop hating someone on behalf of someone else. So when you forgive even the one which are hating you, you are somehow freeing yourself. You get free and from inside, as it is written. What do you think, Elsa?
When Rubens was talking, and you as well, Charles, I think that a lot of you or our inner illnesses that we bring towards our own health, bad health, is because we do not forgive. We do not forgive. We carry on it's hate, we carry on jealousy, we carry on bad thoughts against other people. And doing that, we are not forgiving ourselves because we are engaged like that. If you say, okay, I have to be good and follow what Jesus said, forgive offenses, trespasses, and I'm not forgiving, I hold it. If I may hold it, I have to think that I am in the same position as the other. Even if I'm not the person that offended someone, I think I'm not offended, but maybe I offended without acknowledge. And other people, maybe I did not offend, but the way that the other people received my message, received my body language, maybe got offended. So there's a lot of things that only a dialogue, eyes to eyes, encounter of eyes, we can really feel ourselves. The freedom that I forgive, the freedom that I ask forgiveness. And I show my humbleness as well. Because it's difficult to one ask to other, please forgive me. I did not wrong, so I don't ask forgiveness. Ask forgiveness. If you ask forgiveness, you free yourself of these bad thoughts that come and go, come and go, come and go. You get back your friend or your sister or your father. I spoke with someone today. I hope she's listening me. That no contact with mother all the time like that. Enemies from the past for sure. Father as well, for sure, so many years, and even more than that. So, if we want freedom of thoughts, freedom of health, good health, freedom of being happy, we should forgive. It's one step that made us really in bad situation because we are not the one that they want to go to, must do the first step towards peace. I will speak about peace, how to create peace, how to cultivate peace as an education of the world this coming Sunday morning. And in the afternoon, I have a talk with Denmark, with the Rubens, online. In the morning will be presential, face-to-face, in fraternity, here in London. And I was thinking the coincidence of our talks today that I will use in our talks that we have Sunday morning. And forgiveness is the key, one of the keys for happiness, one big step for happiness. Because if you don't forgive, the marriage can quickly destroyed, relationships destroyed, friendship destroyed. There are stories that I counted here many times, I think already. Oh, I saw one spirit here smiling for me right now. Okay, God bless him, God bless us. And maybe someone that I have to forgive, I don't know, maybe the spirit, And I told the story that the two friends were grow up together, went to the university together, and marriage, one here, another, move on to another place. And in some point, they have a quarrel, they destroy their friendship, not forgiveness. One go abroad, far from, and one stay in her hometown. Later on, year goes passing by, etc. 12 years passing, no talk, no conversation, avoided see each other when one come to visit the city or parents, etc. One day, the one that was abroad move on towards happiness, toward friendship, toward forgiveness, etc., and came to the town and said to the friend here, "Oh, I would like to talk to you. So many years, we should talk about." And the one that was here was reluctant, but accepted. When they started talking, one of the ones that went abroad to live for many years abroad put his tap in the shoulder of the friend, said, "Let's go. Let's leave things from the past. Let's have a nice coffee together and start chatting." So one embrace, one move on humbleness towards the other one, make friendship, né? Restart. So we should do this. If you that are listening me, listening us here, if you have something against someone that you are thinking, continuing feeding this thought that someone is hating you or did something against you, you never forgive. Think a little bit the nice of freedom of thoughts. Make your step towards this person. Send a message, one music that the person likes. Move on a little bit towards peace, and you will see. You put your head in the pillow and say, "Thanks God that I have my friend back to me." Too
Thank
much
you so
talk.
much, Elsa. Yeah. And interestingly, you gave an example involving family with father, mother, and Ruben gave an example involving sisters. So maybe it's interesting to try to understand a little bit better the root causes, why it is often more difficult to forgive those which are close to us than strangers. What do you think, Elsa?
I think we have about the peace should start first of all inside ourselves. Forgiveness should start inside ourselves because I am the one that do a lot of mistakes for sure. For sure, write something in suddenly without think what I'm saying. A voice that you sent in 2 hours later said, "Oh my God, I think I did wrong," and you go there, but the other one already listened what you sent. So we have to think a little bit more about our steps that we are doing, the time that we are using, our hours per day. And one thing is, in nowadays, especially today with all these kind of things, we are moving on so quickly. Everything we need to write something, you need answer back immediately. If you don't do in 2 hours, the other person say, "Oh, maybe it doesn't like me because I sent this message. Okay, I don't care anymore, blah, blah, blah." So we are in this mood, always asking more and more speed in answers, in movements, in thoughts, in working, etc. We never breathe properly, even breathe properly or have a water properly, the way enjoying the water, bless your water. So we are doing things against our own health. First of all, family, we come together for a purpose, a nice one that we sometimes don't guess immediately. We don't guess immediately, but for the movement of the family, growing up, the kids, young people, parents, new families, we should think about how to live a better life together, not only seeing the bad thoughts in the wonderful, beautiful white screen. We should do this, Charles. When you are asking the question, I know here I didn't hear properly what you said, but I think I'm answering what you asked or not,
Yes, yes, I think
more or less.
reasonably, yes. And Rubens, what do you think? Why is it more difficult inside the family sometimes than with strangers?
That's very good because I made this observation as well. I come with a family example and also with a family example. Why always when you talk about forgiveness, we come deep to our family to bring the example. This is very good. It's often hard to forgive those close to us because our emotional bonds make the offense feel very deeper inside of us, you know. And of course, because the family's relationship are tied to past life commitment. We are very connected in the past. We are very connected in the present. We're gonna be very connected in the future, where some unsolved issues, or I don't know how can I call it, unsolved problem, is gonna reappear and appear again for reconciliation and moral progress. That's why I always bring, when I talk about forgiveness, we bring the family example, because the only one way to get out of this forgiveness. Because when we um, make the reconciliation, we are develop our moral progress. It's the most beautiful. We struggle, we fight every single day for forgiving those we loved. For example, I had a problem with some people from my family. Of course, I love my family, but then you still have a problem with them. We struggle, we fight to forgive them because they action reach to the deep inside of us, and the deep inside of my heart, of part of my heart. And when someone touched my heart, even though in a bad way, I have to go deep there to bring the forgive as well. But of course, you two knows, everybody knows who's watching us. The Spiritism remind us that these souls that walk with me, my spirits, is not by chance. It's not coming here by chance. You know, they are companion. They are our friend from yesterday. Our friend as well. We have been together in the past, as I say, in the present, going to be in the future, and returning here. So that love in many ways. And finally, we're gonna, when we learn how to forgive, we're gonna fight the shadows in the end of the way. So families and forgiveness with the family is not only a dirty, it's not only a good thing. It's an opportunity to liberation, to take out everything bad that you have inside of you when you forgive someone in your family. That's very beautiful.
Yeah,
Can I
indeed.
say something, Sean?
Yes, please, Elsa.
Okay. I was thinking here, according to the Spirit's book, the people here in the audience, I think they may know the Spirit's book. If not, please download PDF for free from our website, www.bas.org.uk. That is very important. The Spirit's book, according to the Spirit's book, family members are not brought together by chance. Okay, not by chance at all. Very often, they are spirits who have shared the previous experiences, learning opportunities, and sometimes unresolved difficulties from past lives. When a stranger hurts us, the pain may be temporary, but when the hurt comes from a parent, a child, a brother, a spouse, a siblings, or a close friend, it touches deeper emotional bonds and expectations. The Gospel, according to Spiritism, teaches that forgiveness is one of the greatest expression of moral progress. It does not mean denying our suffering, but choosing not to remain imprisoned by resentment. But sometimes those who challenge us friends or ever, most are also those who provided the greatest opportunity for growth. We can say, inverted commas, our enemies are our teachers. Through forgiveness, we free not only the other person that you said in the beginning, Rubinho, but also ourselves. Perhaps the family is one of God's most important schools for learning patience, understanding, and unconditional love. And we need the most of our life. We are surviving because love is the energy that sometimes is missing inside the families that hate each other or only are together financially speaking, inheritance, money, father, parents cover money for someone almost the entire life, and that's it. But most of the time, we are the one that should do or should go for the first step towards forgiveness. Now I
Very good.
complete.
Yeah. Indeed, it's interesting, this what we learn from the Spiritist body of knowledge that often when we are enemies, we come inside the same family as mother or father and son or daughter with this maternal instinct and so on, which is exactly to help forgiving these huge problems we had in the past. But it not always works the first time. And this is exactly one of the root causes why it is more difficult inside the family. Oh, very well. Okay, there is another aspect now about forgiveness. When something is wrong or when there are some harmful behaviors, is it so that we say, no, he's doing wrong, so I will forgive and just let it as is, continuing doing harmful things, or shall we somehow intervene in order to stop or to reduce these harmful behaviors? What do you think, Elsa?
I think, Charles, there is a huge, is important difference between one and the other things, okay? Because always we rely ourselves in spiritist studies. Most of us we have weekly spiritist studies either online or face to face in our spiritist centers all over the world. We have this freedom and free courses in order to improve ourselves. We have to use these opportunities that is for everyone, not independent of the religions or their philosophies. Come and see the importance of this psychological, physiological, or meteorological beauty that Spiritism brings to us. So, Spiritism teaches forgiveness, for sure, but it does not teach passivity in the face of abuse, violence, or injustice. So, forgiveness is an inner attitude that we have to wake up for that. We have to get out of our bad mood in order to forgive. We have to see the importance of forgiveness. We have acknowledged this, okay? Otherwise, we are going as a weeds in the fields. They grow up for nothing, okay? So it means releasing hatred, resentment, and the desire for vengeance. It is an act of liberation for our own heart, our own lives. However, forgiveness does not require to accept harmful behavior indefinitely. We can, of course, some couples that are adjusting a movement of life together, there are something in the beginning or sometimes in order to organize. Once settle their lives, one understand the other, and, be humble with each other, and go and move on, the things start to settle. So we don't need to be harmful for the rest of your life. Sometimes people love so much and then put their head down and let the other people overcome with these of the problems. So, however, forgiveness does not require to accept harmful behavior indefinitely. Charity must walk hand in hand with prudence and responsibility. That's very important. Jesus forgave, but he also taught wisdom and discernment. In some situations, protecting oneself or others may be necessary. Establishing healthy boundaries is not a lack of forgiveness. It can be an act of self respect and moral responsibility. So, the true Spiritist approach is neither revenge nor submission. It is forgiveness with wisdom, compassion with discernment, and love guided by moral responsibility. So, small steps toward peace start with forgiveness. That's it, Charles. Charles. I think Rubinho can
Thank you
complete
so
now.
much, Elsa. Yeah, very clear indeed. Rubens, do you want to complement something on this topic?
It's very good. When I also was talking about, I was thinking about how the people can see we as a spiritist in the spiritism doctrine, because they think when you become a spiritist, you become an angel. You transform yourself in an angel. Everybody's thinking and blaming me, for example. Are you still doing this? Of course, because I'm still spiritism teach us that the true charity is not be wise, is not blind, especially the way of forgiving. To forgive is to free the soul. I don't need to forgive just because the others has to be good. I have to forgive because I have to free myself. And it's very important because I've been in this situation many times. It's when people still put me the wall and say, "Oh, how come you can behave like that? How come you cannot forgive if you are a spiritist?" To set the limits, I think, or protect the path of the both spirit, my past and the way that I'm living now. The one who's hurt me in this moment, of course, they hurt me because some actions have happened. If some action happened in this moment, is because we, both of us, me and the person, has been done something wrong. It's not because this is nothing connected about the spirit, be spiritist or not. And then in this point of spirituality teach us to the true charity, the charity without prudence, for example, when you are a very prudent person, become a weakness. Weakness, totally, you become without powerful, and prudence without charity is become a heart in yourself. So these two things, the gospel, it doesn't matter if the gospel is the gospel according to spiritism or a different kind of religion. The gospel invite us, me, you, everybody, to put these two things together: the prudence and the charity. When you work with these two things together, this is amazing. There your souls become freedom. Yeah. But it's a long conversation. It's a very nice conversation actually when you talk about this spiritism. Put yourself, people more or less, I think is blaming you because you are spiritist. You have to forgive more than the others.
It is.
Yes, I fully agree with you, Rubens. And a lot of times we see in the Spiritist movement some things which are not, I would say, the best or correct. And we know I don't want to do problems. I will forgive. I will let it as is. But the real well understood charity is not this. Again, we are coming to a kind of passivity, as Elsa told earlier. Because one criteria is if someone is harming you personally, okay, that's one thing. Well, if you are forgiving, you wipe the harm, you don't suffer from it or whatsoever. You free you from this harm. But if a person or a group or an organization is harming a lot of people or committing violence or other examples that Elsa gave, we shall not stay like this, forgiving and letting it go. Because Jesus himself gave the example. He was quite harsh when he was talking about the Pharisees, isn't it? Because these people were hypocritical and uh, how to say, manipulated and misled a lot of innocent people. And in these cases, typically, Jesus had to intervene. And the same is within the Spiritist movement. When some behavior or some attitude or whatever is jeopardizing the image of the Spiritist teaching and making such that some people seeing these problems just say, oh, I don't want to enter in this, and losing, in this case, the opportunity to learn about the Spiritist body of knowledge, then, of course, we shall do what is necessary to correct it. So you can see that we as Spiritists do not put us as being perfect. We also do this critique of ourselves in order to work in enabling us to making the efforts to become better and to serve better these ideas and the humanity, giving hope and a better view of how to behave in front of such difficulties like this need of forgiveness. And again, Jesus gave several examples. He taught the forgiveness, but he also did it. When he was put on the cross, he was saying, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. And then we made, basically, I say we because I'm including myself in those people who made that at that time. We put him on the, we made him the most severe injustice. He came to help us, and we killed him, and he was forgiving us. It's incredible, but this is exactly, I would say, the best possible example. But he made a compliment. They do not know what they are doing. Of course, if we do something wrong without knowing that we are doing something wrong, we have in French, we say circonstance atténuante. I don't know if there is probably there is an expression in English for that as well. You have some excuses. But when you know what you are doing and continue doing, there, of course, you have less excuses. And even so, okay, this person is like this, and is also serving to be forgiven. Nevertheless, with some incentive to wake up, the conscience, and to start seeing the things differently, not only the speck in the eye of the others, but also the beam in the own eye. And that's also another example. Of course, you may say we are giving only examples from the gospel, because this is what we know, basically. But I'm sure you will find similar example in all other religions. Let's now maybe enter into another topic, the benefits when we are able to forgive. And Rubens, let's ask you the question. Can resentment and bitterness and hatred? Yes, Elsa?
I think I saw one question here. Ida Gonçalves. She wrote something that I think is very important to talk a little bit because we have the answer here about divorce. Would you please? She said, how do the Spiritists understand the divorce? And she said, I think time helps to forgiveness happen. I think it's good to answer her.
Yes, of course. Does someone of you is willing to answer? Otherwise, I can start. Within the Spiritist body of knowledge, the divorce is not forbidden at all. It's also not encouraged, of course. But the teachings are saying when a union is not going well anymore, when there is no love anymore inside husband and wife, basically the divorce is already here. So just putting officially what is already existing in the facts is maybe better. And there are some other special cases, like when there is violence or things like that. We shall not wait until someone is harmed or even worse, killed. It's better to separate before something worse can happen. So this is one of the difference between for instance, some teaching of some traditional religions like Catholics. They do not see the divorce as something acceptable, but in the Spiritist body of knowledge, basically the purpose of the marriage is and of the family is to teach us to love. And when this does not exist, it's better to separate and to divorce than staying together. And of course, Ida is also adding very well. There are several ways to divorce. You can do it, okay, by mutual agreement, and this is the best solution. Or sometimes it's conflictual. And in these cases, of course, I think the difference between both, the forgiveness has a huge role to play here. Hello, Stevan. Welcome back.
Okay, good.
Voilà.
I'd like to say to
At the
Ida.
beginning, but okay.
I'd like to only to say to Ida, if she can download the Spirit's book. There is a question that Charles pointed now. In the Spirit's book, well explained the situation that no one can separate what God put together.
It's in the
But
gospel,
most
Elsa. Not,
at the
not
gospel, but I
Spirit.
didn't find it here now. I think it was in Spirit's
Do
book.
not separate what God has joined.
Uh-huh.
And that is a chapter where this point is very well explained as well.
Yes. Okay. So Ida
Robert,
is
do
the
you want to
gospel.
compliment?
No, it's okay.
Yeah. What did you ask about the question again? Is it, Charles, please?
Yeah, so let me come back to the question I was asking before we gave priority to answering the question of Ida. The question was about the physical or psychological consequences of resentment and bitterness, or let's say of lack of forgiveness. Can this really make us physically ill or mentally ill? What do you think, Rubens?
I think again, this question is so good because no matter what, resentment and bitterness are not good in no way. And of course, yes, resentment and bitterness affect our physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being in many ways. We have all to remember, for example, I was in the spiritism teaching when we bring, for example, the negative thoughts generate bad vibrations. It's very funny to understand because for me, I always has been thinking about this. Why sometimes feel very feeling blue, my inner harmony are not good. And then, of course, it's because the resentment and bitterness belong to me. It's still here inside of me. Even though I'm struggling every single day, study the spiritual, understand that all the principles of God and Jesus, but the resentment and the bitterness are here. And of course, the resentment, what are the body? The body is here and disturb my mind and fight hold my spirits, put the mind and the body together. But again, forgiveness one, in the other hand, you have to forgive, and on the other hand, you have to restore your harmony in the body, because when our vibration as now will not elevate your vibration, is open to the past of hate, of resentment, of bitterness, everything that we're talking about. But again, if you bring the codification of the spiritism here in the spiritist book, we talk about gospel all the time, but we have to as well sometimes remind about the spiritist book, and thoughts are living. How that when we cultivate bitterness, we create a lot of bad things inside of us: anxiety, sadness, feelings. I become irritated very easily, emotional exhaust. When I work a lot, when I put myself a lot of tools in specific situations, my relationship is become very difficult with my partner, with my friends. Of course, because my bitterness is a chain that blind us to pain. It is really pain inside of me. And of course, forgiveness is the key that free the heart. When I forgive someone, my heart is open. I feel myself free. I feel myself open to everything that's come out. But of course, when we release this resentment and this bitterness, we allow peace and flow again. That's the most important we have to understand. Because if it is resentment that needs keep inside of me, the peace never will come. Sometimes it comes close to me, but I cannot see because I'm connected to this beating, to the resentment. Again, our body and our soul in need of freedom.
So, Stevan, I will hand over to you because you could not participate so much until now.
Yeah.
I can say something if
Yeah, go ahead. Go
about
ahead. Go
me
ahead. Go ahead. Don't lose your focus.
because I make my notes here. I have to use my notes. So Rubinho said part that I was about I was thinking, but from a spiritual perspective, negative feelings can keep us connected to painful memories and make it more difficult to experience peace and renewal. So the gospel, as we pointed, the gospel according to Spiritism, remind us that many of our afflictions become heavier when we nourish rebellion, resentment, or despair. Forgiveness does not change the past, but it changes our relationship with the past. When we forgive, we are not saying that what happened was right. We are choosing not to carry the burden forever because our health can be very harmful. Forgiveness is therefore not only a moral virtue, it is also a pathway to emotional healing, inner freedom, and spiritual peace. We need this freedom. We need to put our head in our pillow in the evening or whatever and sleep in deep and immense joy and not thinking, oh, so 2 years that I don't speak with someone that hurt me. So we catch. We not forget, but even more, we get every time that we think getting worse. So we have to lie down and say, okay, this is happening. I am foolish, but tomorrow I will take a decision. Humbleness, forgiveness, I go for it, and that's it. I need my freedom, my health back, whatever. Hmm? It's a
Thank you, Elsa.
psychology. This book here, Charles know that I love this book so much. It's a psychology of life. What we are going to do in psychologist, we must go. But we have it here. If we follow these teachings, we will be happy. Even when we don't have money, we don't have a good TV at home, we are happy. Okay?
Yes, thank you, Elsa. And I think in addition to what you said, there is another argument, the law of attraction and or affinity. There is an amplifying effect because when we are with hatred, resentment, bitterness, we attract spirits, spiritual entities, which are amplifying and entertaining this in ourselves. So if we need to cut this link, by removing those things, and then they will simply move away and look for someone else which is less resistant than us, isn't it, Steven?
Mhm. Yeah, and I was talking to a person yesterday, and this is very truth because that the person said to me, "Oh, now I could explain to you my reason. I don't have anything in the past, but this is inside my chest." So clearly, the person is not ready. She thinks she is, but she's not ready. And when I said, "Oh, but you need to let it go." Why I need to let it go? This person harmed me, and did this, did that. And I said, "Look, at this. Who is suffering now? You or that person?" And she said, "I don't know about the other. I don't speak with her for years. I know about me. So perhaps she is having her normal life. She has overcome all this. She doesn't even think about you. And you are all these years thinking about what happened, why you are so frustrated, giving your reasons, explaining to the others your reasons, your point of view. So who's suffering here? The forgiveness is gonna free you or the other person. I'd say same thing here. So if you are going what Charlie said, If you keep talking about it, keep pushing it, you attract things like this. You'll be surrounded by friends with the same pattern and spiritual friends with the same pattern. So, from this point, going to a depression, going to a state of being lost, it is easy. So, I didn't hear what you said. You guys said to Ida, but that's it for you now, Ida. It's your choice. You do have here two choices. Keeping talking about it for years and years, and the other part gonna be happy, living their life, or you decide, okay, this is part of the past. I learned a lot. Following the suggestion from Elsa, Spirits book, Gospel book, you will understand perhaps what happened and live your life. It's our choice. It's in our hands, the power. It's up to you to see the glass half full or half empty.
And Steven, I think we can also see even a worse example for this. No? We can see nowadays the effects of A to A, tooth for tooth. Huh? Never forgiving. You send me one bomb, I send you 10 bombs back, then I get 100 bombs back.
Yeah.
Someone thinks that like this, one day it will stop. The only way to stop is to say, hey guys, stop. Let's sit down. Let's discuss. Let's find an agreement. Let's forgive ourselves. Let's find ways to live peacefully together. That's the only way out. And this comes through this very important step, which is forgiveness.
Yeah, true. True. It is true. Okay. So let me see if we do
There's a
have another
closing
question here.
reflection. We have a closing reflection. And let me ask the question of it. Sorry, Steven, you jumped in the middle. The question is the following: is there someone I still need to forgive in order to experience greater peace within myself? So it's a question that every one of us can ask himself. So who would like to start here?
What prevents us to do this, or go towards forgiveness and go to other people, is our pride or selfishness. I don't want to do the first step towards forgiveness toward other, and I expect the others do towards me, but the others think the same thing. So, as you said before, bombing, or doing nothing. And we must be humble. We have first be a little bit polish this humbleness in us, make it shining, and cut a little bit our selfishness, our pride. I don't do it because I'm proud of me. But when you think that, I said to a person today that she was saying about mother, they cannot stay together for 5 minutes and starting doing. She said, I gave up. I said, yes, you gave up. You gave up. But if you listen tomorrow morning a call that your mother is in bed with illness, you will be with your heart like that. You want to run quickly in order to be with your mother. Why you don't do the first step in order to hold a little bit your horses, listen a little bit more, and try to do a little bit what she wants to. She's an old lady, you are a middle-aged lady, then you're in your 40s, 50s, too young, but go in there and make peace. thinking our kids that not seeing grandmother or whatever. There are confusion in a lot of families. When you do the spiritual fraternal assistance, we can see so many cases that is easy in my mind to the solution comes to say the solution, but it's not easy for the person accept it the way that she can be free from this hunger every day thinking about the same thing because pride and selfishness. That is the true vicissitudes that we should be free from us, things that are not good for our life. Depending of the way that you say, I'm a pride of my son finish the university. It's good because you put love what you're saying. But when you are pride to be yourself, not to bound a little bit your head towards peace, is I think is foolish. Sorry to say that.
Exactly. Yeah. Rubens.
We're nearly there,
This
my
question,
goodness.
this question is an invitation to self-examination. If you really think very deep, you have to go deep to yourself again. Because let's take a very simple example. For example, if someone is still disturbing you, your inner peace, for example, or is still doing something, it may be a sign that forgiveness. You need to forgive. Nobody came into your life because we keep saying, we keep doing the same mistake, which is I'm always thinking the problem is from the other. I never make a mistake. I never need to forgive anybody. People need to forgive me. Uh, of course, forgiving them when I'm forgiving someone is a point, is a sign that I'm going to free myself. You're going to free yourself for him. But of course, I have to think about my moral progress as well. There is no another way to forgive if my moral progress is not follow with me. So again, just to close because the time is going there. According to the spiritual philosophy, the sign if someone bad come to you, disturb you, hello, is because you need to forgive no matter how, no matter what.
Yes. How to check if we developed already a little bit our humbleness, our humility, without having someone who is just exciting this and testing it.
Uh,
So sometimes these tests are coming in order to help us asking this question and to see what I'm this is bad pride, which is the opposite of helping of humbleness, the one who thinks he is better than the neighbor. No, he shall forgive me, I shall not forgive him, or whatsoever. This type of attitude does not bring a lot of results for ourselves.
uh, is
Stevan.
that question, sorry to
Yes.
add something again because the subject so good, is that very famous question we all ask. I made a mistake with my family. Is there someone I still need to forgive? There is someone in the world that I still need to forgive. The question should be totally different. Is there a part of me that needs to be healing? Because if I need to forgive, because there's something that needs to be healing inside of me. So that's the point.
Good. So, what to say? You guys said everything. um, I think I will keep with my advice. Like the forgiveness is for you, not for the others. That's it. And for you, Charles.
What are we waiting for? I know it's not so easy, but
Yeah.
let's work on it. Little by little, we will get there.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Good. Okay. Can we go to our announcements here? Let me out of here. Okay. So next week we're gonna have our friend Marcelo Mota And the topic is the Earth in transformation, a spiritual and geological perspective. Marcelo is a geologist person, so we have a good perspective with a technical person on this, on the geological part and spiritist part. So next Wednesday, 10th of June at 9 p.m. London time. Every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. we have the Mediums Book Study Group with Charles, Munir, and Guilherme. Please join the team. And every other week on Sundays from 8:30 p.m. to 10 p.m. we have the Joana de Angelis Study Group. More details, more information, you can look after our friend Fabrício Assunção. He will give you more details. So save the date between 18th to 20th of September. We have in Vergemont, Belgium, our 9th European Spiritist Gathering. And along with this gathering, we will have the Kids Gathering, the 9th, by the way. But the first Youth European Gathering, which is important. It's growing, and we are having teenagers now. So they will have their own gathering. So this is going to be a very good moment to share with them. No, anything is required to there. Just your willingness to share your knowledge, talk to us, and talk about spiritism. We are not in a position to teach anything. We are in a position to talk about spiritism. That's a good place you should be in September. Please keep reading Spiritism Magazine. It's free, always with good article. And just go to spiritismmagazine.org and you can read this month published and the previous years and months as well. I want to say thank you to Cardiac Radio, to Buzz, to Life Spiritist Society, to Spiritist Francophone Movement in France, and Irish Spiritist Federation to supporting us during our call today and every Wednesday. This is it from me. Thank you so much. Sorry I just joined the last quarter of the call, but I'm pretty sure you were in a very, very sick hands here. Okay? So thank you,
so
Rubens,
much,
once
Steven.
more
Thank
for
you
your
all.
time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Elsa.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye
God
bye.
bless.
Bye-bye.